Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews, and welcome back to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews. Coming into the waning days of fall, so I thought I'd set this camera up in such a way to pick up a couple of little colors of some of the leaves before they fall off the trees in my backyard. And today I'm going to be reviewing from Middlebury, Vermont, the Otter Creek Brewery, and this is the Copper Ale. And the Copper Ale comes in with an ABV of 5.0% ABV. This is brewed year-round. It's an alt beer, which is a German-style beer. So I've had this one before. It's been a little while. I don't think I've had this in at all this year, and it's probably been maybe 2 years since I last had it. So I figured I'd sit down in front of the remaining colors in my backyard and open it up and give it a little review. Not a fall beer per se, it's an alt beer, yeah. And it is available year-round by the brewery itself. Figured that this would be a good one to have tonight. So let's give it a pour and see what we have here. Pouring it into this glass and serving it now probably in the 40 or so degree range is my guess. It's not super chilled, but it's not warmed up either. So anyway, let's put this down there and give it a check. All right, well, what we have here is a decent looking, good clarity, decent looking medium amber color, sort of a copper kind of color, not quite orange, but copper and medium amber. A small little head, but there's a lot of carbonation bubbles heading on up that glass, if you can see. Really doing well. Also a few bubbles clinging on the side of the glass. And someone recently told me that has to do with how clean my glass is. Well, I try to clean my glasses pretty well. I usually wash them out really good, and I let them air dry as opposed to dry them with a cloth or something. So, well, who knows? But anyway, let's give it a check on the aroma. Okay, I'm getting a clean aroma, but I mean it smells clean, but really I'm getting a good dose of caramel malts. Maybe a little bit of butterscotch. There goes someone with their leaf blower. So caramel, moderate sweetness, butterscotch. Hops are really kind of subtle and laid down. Checking out the taste. Well, the body is falling into the medium range. Sort of creamy, smooth or creamy. Not heavy, but just kind of a nice coating on my tongue. Taste-wise, though, well, I've got to say that the taste is kind of what I expected in alt beer. It does have a rather upfront caramel butterscotch flavor, a nice sweetness, and the hop character is really kind of milder. I'm getting also a bit of a barley grain character. Sort of it's almost like a mellow, I mean, it's like a fruitness that's gone past time, but it's not up and center. I wouldn't call it pear or apple or grape. It's sort of this mild sort of fruitiness that is, it's almost like it's like an afterthought. Easy to drink, 5.0%, not bad, pretty typical. Easy to drink beer, one that has decent flavor, decent satisfaction. I mean, I'm satisfied with the beer. It's got enough character to make it worthwhile to try out. I have a barley or grain character with more of a butterscotch sort of caramel note coming in there as well to sort of balance it all out. Delicate, soft, and then this hop bitterness it's not a floral or earthy hop bitterness, but there's definitely a slightly lingering bitterness on the end of this one. Doesn't last too long, but it's just enough to balance it all out. But overall, a pretty decent beer. It's one I've had before. I've been drinking Otter Creek beers since really the late 1980s, whenever they first came out, because I lived in Middlebury, Vermont for a short time, And they hadn't quite opened up their brewery then, but I think some of their beers were starting to get served in local establishments. And really was the early 90s when they finally opened up. And Otter Creek usually puts out some pretty consistently good beers, and this one's no exception. It is available all year. It's a good beer. It's one that's worth trying, especially if you like alt beers. I mean, it may not be quite as upfront as some traditional alt beers brewed in Germany, but it definitely has, excuse me, kind of lean over, actually has some of the good characteristics. So that's it for today. That's the Otter Creek Copper Ale. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.